There have been many instances where fans have got to witness some of the greatest plays in NFL history, and those plays and moments will always be known as an iconic day for football fans. But of course, as we all know, teams and players tend to make a lot of mistakes as well, specifically revolving around plays. Well, why don't we go through these embarrassing moments to see just how bad they really were. How is everybody doing today? It's Portola back with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about the most embarrassing moments and worst plays in NFL history. Let's not waste any time, and let's get straight into it. Starting off with this play that occurred on October 25th, 1965. It was the Minnesota Vikings who were playing against the San Francisco 49ers. And one of the players on defense for the Vikings was a man by the name of Jim Marshall. The man had a pretty good career as he lasted in the league for 20 years, was a two-time Pro Bowler, and an NFL champion. But in this game, basically what happened was that there was a fumble on the field, Marshall went to retrieve the ball, and suddenly forgot which way he had to go, which caused for him to run to his own end zone, slam the football because he thought it was a touchdown, and completely embarrass himself.
And he was the featured player in the most infamous play in the history of the National Football League.
Marshall is running the wrong way.
You can't have a thin skin and play in the National Football League. It took a lot of guts for me to go back on that field because, I took football very seriously. It was my occupation, and I
am sure this is one play that every time he looks back on, he either laughs or shakes his head. Now, this next play is a bit more recent. It occurred on January 1st, 2017, and it was the New York Jets playing against the Buffalo Bills, two teams who were underperforming that season. But towards the end of the fourth quarter, the Jets ended up getting what had to have been their easiest touchdown in a long time. They would perform a kickoff that would go all the way to the Bills' end zone, and for some odd reason, the Bills decided to not recover the ball in the end zone, which would have been ruled as a touchback. Instead, they just didn't grab it, and the Jets would retrieve it and get the touchdown. This had to have been one of the most confusing moments for Bills fans.
That's hindsight. Unfortunately for the Raiders, it'll be Matt McGloin as their quarterback. That one bounces, and one of the Bills goes to get it. Now Gillisley tracks it down in the end zone.
You can't let it go.
That's a touchdown. Yeah. What are the Bills doing?
Luckily, the Bills weren't the greatest team that season and would retaliate a few years later by making the playoffs and winning their division. Now, this next play comes from a player who was legendary in his prime, Deshaun Jackson. On September 15th, 2008, it was Monday Night Football where the Philadelphia Eagles were playing against the Dallas Cowboys. It was the second quarter, and the Eagles were down and needed a touchdown. This was when the quarterback of the Eagles, Donovan McNabb, decided to let it fly and launch a ball to Deshaun. Jackson would catch the ball and had an easy route for a touchdown to take the lead. Before I get to the next move, though, let me ask you something. Have you ever heard of the saying, "Don't celebrate too soon"? Well, that's exactly what happened here. Right before Jackson stepped into the end zone, he dropped the ball and celebrated a little too soon. Just so you know, Jackson was in his rookie year when this happened. The Cowboys would review this play, and the call got overturned.
3 catches last week. Good, tough third down receiver. McNabb loading up deep for Deshaun Jackson. He hauled it in. Oh, wow. Did he get over the goal line? Did he get over the goal line? Yes, he did. Touchdown. Hang on a second. We got to make sure he broke the plane on that, guys. And the Cowboys, I think, might challenge. Oh, it is very close. That is close.
By rule, the ball is allowed to Philadelphia on the 1-yard line. First and goal.
I bet Jackson got yelled at by the coach and teased by his teammates. He definitely learned a lesson here. Now, the next play. Oh boy, is this a good one. You've heard of it. I'm sure you have. This play will probably go down as the most embarrassing, hilarious, and questionable moment in NFL history. The butt fumble. It is 2012. The New York Jets are playing against the New England Patriots. The quarterback of the Jets, Mark Sanchez, would fake a handoff to his running back and scramble. And of course, We know what happened
We
next.
talked to Tom Moore then at Indianapolis, the offensive coordinator. You got a busted play here, and then Sanchez gets hit. The ball is loose, and it's alive.
I have never seen this before in my life.
Not only did Sanchez get tackled by one of his teammates, not only was it the fact that the dude's butt knocked him out, but the Patriots got a touchdown here because there was a fumble. Sanchez was not the worst quarterback in the world, but if you were to ask an NFL fan if they knew who he was, I'm sure majority would say they knew him because of the butt fumble. This next play was pretty bad. You have the Dallas Cowboys playing against the Seattle Seahawks in 2007 in the wild card. Sounds like a good matchup, and it was. Both teams wouldn't go down without a fight. And then comes the end of the fourth quarter. All the Cowboys had to do was kick a field goal, and that would do it. But Tony Romo was the holder for the field goal kick, and let's just say he had butterfingers in the moment.
19-yard field goal attempt. Oh, it is fumbled by Romo, and then Romo's going to run to the end zone, and he's going to get tackled by Jordan Babineau.
The Cowboys lost to the Seattle Seahawks all because of Tony Romo. If the man could have just come up clutch and not mess up the one job he had, then it would have ended well. Hopefully the Cowboys never make a mistake like that again in a key playoff game. Before we get to this final play, which was pretty bad, let's give out a little honorable mention. It goes to the Seattle Seahawks, Super Bowl 49. All you have to do is just run the ball and you've got yourself a touchdown. But Pete Carroll decides to make Russell Wilson throw it, revolving in one of the most tragic endings to a football game for Seahawks fans. But here we are at the final play. It was on October 18th, 2015. The Patriots are playing against the Indianapolis Colts. They're in the third quarter, and the Colts could really use a touchdown to take the lead. But it's fourth down. So the Colts decided to run a fake punt, and honestly, I don't think anyone understood what the hell just happened here.
All those throws,
Yeah. Now we've got, on a 4th down and 3, you got Griff Whalen ready to take the snap. He'll snap it. Actually, Colt Anderson is behind him. And what in the world? Flag is down.
So the Colts' attempt at running a fake punt ended up making them look like complete buffoons. I'm sure that the Colts now know that if they ever were to run another fake punt, never use this method or play again. Unless you want to be the biggest meme of all time. That is going to be it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you're new to the channel, please consider to leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And as always, I will see you all in the next video. I'm out.